Dash is now accusing DJ Envy of being a government informant, and he even posted a paperwork that he says proves DJ Envy is an informant.
My attorneys don't want me to speak, but I think there's things that I need to clear up a little bit.
I think you should listen to your attorneys. Why don't light-skinned people like to listen? Like, if your attorney told you don't say nothing, why are you talking?
But it did break down that you are on that RICO, and that, in fact, if you don't or do certain things, it's going to mean that you are, in fact, arrested.
So Caesar and myself did seminars. Now, the reason I did these seminars is because I wanted to uplift my community.
I lost $1 million.
And you went in because of DJ Envy.
Yeah, I did. I mean, you know, I'd known Envy for years.
Not DJ Envy getting called an informant. Yeah, this one's wild. Here's what went down. Dame Dash just threw a serious curveball, claiming DJ Envy somehow managed to dodge major heat in that messy real estate scandal he's been tangled up in. And get this, 50 Cent, of all people, is kind of backing what Dame said. Now that's shocking, because 50 and Dame haven't exactly been on friendly terms lately. They've been trading shots ever since Dame started coming for Cameron. But now, 50's stepping into the situation, and things are getting spicy fast. Let's talk about Envy for a minute. If these rumors are true, and he really has been cooperating with the feds, what does that mean for the Breakfast Club? People are starting to look sideways at the whole operation, questioning who's real, who's fake, and who's just playing the media game to survive. So here's how it all kicked off. Last month, Dame Dash showed up to the Breakfast Club, and from the jump, you could feel the tension. Envy and Charlemagne pressed him hard about his finances, and Dame was not here for it. You know how touchy he gets when anyone brings up his money. When they mentioned the bankruptcy rumors and his alleged financial struggles, Dame lost it. Dude was heated. He even threatened to walk out mid-interview, threw shade at Charlemagne by calling him gay, and started bragging about how his house was bigger than theirs. It got messy real fast. And now, with all these whispers floating around that Envy might have been working with the authorities, the whole situation just got a lot more complicated. The drama's far from over.
Not to say that even Caesar was doing anything right or wrong, because I honestly don't know. That's between them and whatever happened. But did I say, here, take this money and give it to this person, or do this with this money? I never did.
This isn't just about a financial scandal anymore. It's about loyalty, reputation, and who's really protecting who in this industry. And here's the thing, Dame didn't just talk tough. He straight up challenged DJ Envy and Charlemagne to show off the views from their homes, literally told them to post proof of who's really living that luxury life. And believe it or not, Envy actually took the bait. He posted a video showing off his view, trying to flex right back at Dame. But let's be honest, the whole exchange looked ridiculous. Two grown men arguing over who's got the better skyline. It was giving middle school energy, not mogul energy. What makes it even crazier is that Dame's been in the game for decades. He's made real money, built real brands, and still somehow acts like he's got something to prove. That insecurity was loud, but it didn't stop there. That same Breakfast Club interview took a wild turn when Dame dropped a bombshell, claiming DJ Envy is under federal investigation tied to that shady real estate scheme involving his business partner, Cesar Pena. Now that's where things really started to get messy.
You acting like a girl.
You move like an old auntie. You an old Harlem auntie.
I could punch you right in your face like a grown man. I won't.
And then we
and you won't do shit.
Dame, this is with the Chatty Patty, so just so
not
you know, because I knew you was going to say that.
I've seen you run. That's I've seen you. I'm not saying I will. I'm saying no. Then your version of respectful is different than mine. We were on the street right now and you were talking like that. I would have you up. But I'm not going to do that. Nah, I wouldn't have got beat up. But I wouldn't have got beat up. Let's end this. So let me say one more thing before I leave.
I had so many questions.
All right. Oh, you're right.
How you want to leave? You can't get in your emotions and want to leave, Dame.
No, what I'm saying is when you interrupt me and you say certain things, where I'm from, the masculine man will.
Yeah.
But because wait, let me finish. No, I didn't. I said I didn't say I said I could, and you wouldn't do anything.
And we gonna fight.
I didn't see that on tape. You ran.
Yeah, because it was 4 guys, but that's cool.
Wait, ask what happened when 30 guys jumped me. I went to jail. The last time I was behind, it was $1 million. I paid it. That sounds broke to you? If all my children, and I pay their colleges up front, they don't have debt, meaning they don't have to go on, that sounds broke to you? Every one of my baby mothers has 2 or 3 houses. That sounds broke to you? It's not about me. If you Google her family, or certain people I know, I'll Google them, they have no money. I Google the family office, $10 billion. Rich people don't put anything in their name. But you don't know that. You don't know that. And I feel sorry for you because you don't get to see the daylight. You guys, you don't. You missed your whole life.
We don't have anything on our name.
So then I
have a question about the book deal with Simon & Schuster.
let me finish. Yeah, go ahead.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What made you sign a book deal with Simon & Schuster as opposed to publishing independent?
Now that's a serious accusation, and Envy wasn't about to let it slide. He fired back almost immediately, denying everything and claiming he had the paperwork on him right then and there to shut it all down. But just as he reached for those so-called receipts, Charlemagne jumped in and stopped him, telling him not to show anything on air, and that's where things got weird. Because if everything was really clean, why stop him? The moment things started getting too real, it suddenly turned into, let's dial it back. Viewers couldn't help but wonder, was that damage control, or was somebody protecting something bigger behind the scenes? And hold up, DJ Envy just happened to have RICO paperwork on him at the exact moment Dame Dash accused him of being an informant. That's not just convenient, that's straight up suspicious. Who walks around with federal case documents in their pocket like it's a mixtape? But Dame's not backing off. He's doubling down hard, saying he's got the real receipts to prove Envy's been cooperating with the feds. And he's not keeping it quiet either. He went straight to Instagram, tagging iHeartRadio and Power 105 directly. In his post, he basically called them out, asking if they even realized their own host might be working as an informant. The shade was heavy, and the message crystal clear.
You acting like a girl.
You move like an old auntie. You an old Harlem auntie.
I could punch you right in your face like a grown man. I won't.
And then we
and you won't do shit.
Dame, this is with the Chatty Patty, so just so you know, because I knew you was going to say
nah,
that.
I've seen you run.
Yes.
I've seen you. I'm not saying I will. I'm saying no. Then your version of respectful is different than mine. We were on the street right now and you were talking like that. I would have you up. But I'm not going to do that. Nah, I wouldn't have got beat up. But I wouldn't have got beat up. Let's end this. So let me say one more thing before I leave.
I had so many questions.
All right. Oh, you're right.
How you want to leave? You can't get in your emotions and want to leave, Dame.
No, what I'm saying is when you interrupt me and you say certain things, where I'm from, the masculine man will.
Yeah.
But because wait, let me finish. No, I didn't. I said
not gonna happen.
I didn't say that. I said I could, and you wouldn't do anything.
And we gonna fight.
I didn't see that on tape. You ran.
Yeah, because it was 4 guys, but that's cool.
Wait, ask what happened when 30 guys jumped me. I went to jail. The last time I was behind, it was $1 million. I paid it. That sounds broke to you? If all my children, and I pay their colleges up front, they don't have debt, meaning they don't have to go on, that sounds broke to you? Every one of my baby mothers has 2 or 3 houses. That sounds broke to you? It's not about me. If you Google her family, or certain people I know, I'll Google them, they have no money. I Google the family office, $10 billion. Rich people don't put anything in their name. But you don't know that. You don't know that. And I feel sorry for you because you don't get to see the daylight. You guys, you don't. You missed your whole life.
We don't have anything on our name.
So then
I have a question about the book deal with Simon & Schuster.
Let me finish. Yeah, go ahead.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What made you sign a book deal with Simon & Schuster as opposed to publishing independent?
So let's break this down, what really went down between DJ Envy and his business partner, Cesar Pina. And is there any truth to these snitching rumors floating around? Here's the backstory. Cesar Pina, better known online as Flipping NJ, got hit with serious federal charges back in July 2025. The feds came after him for wire fraud, shady money moves, and corruption involving local officials. According to the indictment, Cesar was allegedly running a full-blown scam, pulling in millions from investors with promises of flipping properties and splitting the profits. But instead of keeping his word, prosecutors say it was all a Ponzi-style setup. He was allegedly taking new investors' money to pay off old ones, and even bribing a New Jersey official to keep the operation running smoothly. Court documents claim Cesar collected huge amounts of cash from dozens of people, all believing they were investing in legit real estate deals. Problem was, that money wasn't being used the way he said it was. And this is where DJ Envy's name comes into the picture. The indictment directly mentions that Cesar partnered with a well-known celebrity DJ and radio host to host real estate seminars across the country. And yeah, everyone's assuming that DJ is Envy. These weren't small-time meetups either. We're talking packed events with eager investors dropping serious money. So when the Fed stepped in and the whole scheme started to unravel, all eyes turned toward Envy. Cesar built a massive online following with flashy marketing, luxury cars, and constant self-promotion. He sold the dream hard, and standing right beside him through it all was DJ Envy, co-hosting seminars and co-signing the entire operation. That's when the lines between business partner and accomplice started getting blurry and the real questions began. But here's the thing, despite all the noise, DJ Envy still hasn't been officially charged with anything. He's standing his ground, insisting he had no idea about the shady stuff Caesar was allegedly doing behind the scenes. Still, not everyone's buying it. Several investors have stepped forward and filed a civil lawsuit against both Caesar and Envy, claiming they were misled into investing based on false promises. And here's the kicker, most of them admitted the only reason they trusted the deal in the first place was because of Envy's name and reputation. Seeing a familiar, trusted face made the whole operation look legit. According to reports from NBC, this mess actually traces back to 2017. That's when Caesar was already out here collecting money from investors, claiming he was flipping properties all across New Jersey and promising massive profits, anywhere from 20% to 45% returns in just 5 months. Those kinds of numbers sound too good to be true, and, of course, they were. Prosecutors allege that instead of investing the money like he promised, Caesar was keeping a large chunk for himself, living lavishly, while investors thought their funds were tied up in real estate deals. On top of that, he was reportedly using new investors' money to pay off old ones, a textbook Ponzi move, and it gets even shadier. Caesar was allegedly pitching people properties he didn't even own, and in some cases, he was offering the same exact house to multiple investors at once. That's when the whole thing stopped looking like a business plan and started looking like a full-blown con.
The problem, Dame, I have with you is you're a businessman and an entrepreneur.
I don't care what your problem
is. When people have a question to you, you don't want to ask the question, and exactly what you do to people.
I did answer.
You are a chatty patty, right?
No, I'm not. Okay, let's do this. Can I talk? Let me answer that. Can I answer that? Can I answer that?
No, you can't come speaking. Like we just said, we're gonna set boundaries. I respected you. Respect me.
That's what Dame wanted, by the way. He wanted to come in here and call this.
He said boundaries. He said some chatty patty stuff that's absolutely not true.
So let's address it. Let's unpack it. Let's unpack it. Let's unpack it. Let's pause. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
So a lot of the things you say on here are not true. A lot. And I'm saying what I'm seeing in the algorithm is that you're being investigated for RICO, and that there were people around you that are getting charged. So why? Let me ask you a question. Of course, I don't expect you. Bottom line is, I already know you're going to fold if they come for you. You tell them. We already know that.
The SEC,
anyway,
FBI,
do not show that. Are you crazy?
But sometimes
he walking with the letter.
Sometimes let Dame make you say.
But this is the thing. No, hold on. You have to prove facts because he can't prove facts.
I can't?
No.
Everything I say, I be having on tape.
It's not factual.
What's not factual that I said?
Nothing that you said is factual.
So I'm not the chairman of Revolt?
I don't know. I haven't seen the Dateline yet.
Deadline.
You know what happens when feminine people get nervous and upset? Their voice starts cracking, their lips start shaking.
That's what you be doing when you be on Art of Dialogue.
Or you stand up and walk away like you're gonna walk out.
That's not just sketchy, that's downright reckless. And right before everything hit the fan, NBC dropped a full expose, blowing the lid off the scam. The report featured real people who lost huge amounts of money, sharing how they were left with nothing but broken promises and empty bank accounts. And here's where it gets personal. A lot of those victims said the only reason they ever trusted Caesar in the first place was because DJ Envy was standing right beside him, co-signing the entire operation. One investor, Anthony Barron, told NBC he never would have even met Caesar if it weren't for Envy. He said the two of them were literally walking through a New Jersey property together, with Envy acting as the middleman. Barron ended up investing $500,000 into just one apartment project, and after being reassured again, he threw in another $300,000, nearly $1 million gone, just like that. Barron didn't sugarcoat it either. To this day, he says DJ Envy should be held just as accountable as Caesar. In his eyes, the trust came from seeing Envy's name and face tied to the deal, and now he's the one left holding the bag. But Barron isn't the only one. Another investor, Agui Rios, had a whole different story to tell, and it paints an even darker picture of how deep this scheme really went.
And, they did research. And I can't articulate exactly what was said, but it wasn't said. She sent me a message, so I'll play it. But it did break down that you are on that RICO, and that, in fact, if you don't or do certain things, it's going to mean that you are, in fact, a rat. And I knew that you would fold anyway, but allegedly. But this is what the paperwork, and I'm going to play it so y'all can hear it.
Anybody can go online and type in Caesar H. Pena. When they do, they'll see links from the Department of Justice.gov. They can simply open up the two links that you see here. The first one shows the New Jersey real estate investor and online influencer charged with committing multi-million-dollar fraud.
But the pain was the same. Agui Rios, who owns a custom auto wrap shop out in Long Island, had been working on Envy's cars for years. This wasn't just a business relationship, it was built on trust. And according to Rios, it was DJ Envy himself who introduced him to Cesar in the first place. It gets worse. When Rios later asked to be paid back, Cesar allegedly tried to hand him jewelry instead of cash. Like, seriously, who does that? That's not business. That's straight up disrespect. Reports also claim Envy didn't just make the introduction, he personally vouched for Cesar's investment company. So, for a lot of these people, this wasn't just about money. It felt like betrayal from someone they genuinely trusted. After NBC exposed Cesar Peña's alleged scam, the floodgates opened. More and more victims started coming forward with similar stories, and the one thing they all had in common was that they never would have invested a single dime if DJ Envy hadn't been part of the picture. Even folks within the industry started calling it out. Joe Budden, for instance, revealed that Envy once tried to bring him into the same real estate game years back. And that alone speaks volumes about how deep this thing really ran.
Investment fraud scheme, laundering drug proceeds, and bribing a New Jersey politician. If you simply scroll down, you will see the individual one. Individual one is clearly described as Peña's business partner, a well-known disc jockey and radio personality who resided in New Jersey. You go further down, as you can see through this video, it gives more description on Peña and his business partner. Individual one operated a company that conducted real estate seminars around the country with Peña. He's a co-conspirator. This individual one, who is a well-known radio personality, disc jockey in New Jersey. That only describes one person who we all know.
Now here's where things get really ironic. An old interview just resurfaced, showing DJ Envy admitting that Joe Budden once pulled him aside and gave him a serious warning. Joe straight up told him, if you keep running around with these shady deals, you're gonna end up behind bars. That wasn't just friendly advice, that was a full-on red flag. But Envy apparently brushed it off. What makes it even crazier is that this wasn't some secret hustle happening behind closed doors. Envy actually brought Cesar Peña onto the Breakfast Club and gave his entire real estate operation a public cosign right there, live on air. He didn't just talk about it either. He endorsed it, telling millions of listeners that Cesar's investment plan was legit. And if that wasn't enough, there's actual video footage out there showing DJ Envy walking through properties with potential investors, acting as a middleman, hyping up the deals, and basically putting his personal stamp of approval on the whole thing. So yeah, when people say Envy's name was a big reason they trusted Cesar, it's hard to argue with that. He didn't just stand next to the brand, he became part of it.
Would be renovated and flipped for more money. The promise to return up to 30%. In some cases, Cesar didn't even own the properties. This couple took out $200,000 in equity from their Florida home, promised that 30% return within 4 months. Then they say nothing.
And yet, even with all that out in the open, DJ Envy kept insisting he had nothing to do with the scam. After Cesar got arrested, Envy went back on the Breakfast Club to defend himself and clear his name. He doubled down on his usual message, saying his only goal was to uplift the community, teach financial literacy, and help people build generational wealth. He swore up and down that he had no idea what Cesar was really doing behind the scenes and that his intentions were nothing but positive. But let's be real, people aren't buying it. Not when there are receipts, footage, and lawsuits piling up from every direction. Now the internet's digging deeper than ever, and DJ Envy can't catch a break. The more clips and documents that surface, the harder it is to believe he was just some clueless bystander. Like, come on, how do you host nationwide seminars, personally walk investors through properties, promote real estate deals live on one of the biggest radio shows in the country, and still say, I didn't know anything? That doesn't add up. More videos keep popping up of Envy, hyping the whole thing like it was a guaranteed win. He was out here telling people to secure your future, invest smart, and build for your kids. But the sad truth, a lot of those same people ended up losing everything.
If it wasn't for DJ Envy, I would have never invested into Caesar. I lost a total of $64,000.
After receiving 2 bounced checks, Rio says he got a visit from Caesar carrying this box of jewelry.
He said, take this jewelry until I can pay you back.
And now, those same investors are furious, saying they were misled by someone they genuinely thought they could trust. Let's not forget, the Breakfast Club platform added a whole new level of credibility to Caesar's operation. When you're sitting beside respected hosts on a nationally syndicated radio show, promoting financial advice, people listen and they believe you. That's just how influence works. Now, serious questions are being raised about whether DJ Envy abused that trust and whether iHeartRadio itself might have to face some accountability down the line. Meanwhile, Envy's name keeps popping up everywhere in investor group chats, Reddit threads, and TikToks as people connect dots, compare stories, and share receipts. The pressure's building fast, and fans are starting to ask, where's iHeart in all this? Why are they staying silent while one of their biggest hosts is caught in the middle of a major scandal? The real twist? Envy's been trying to carry on like it's business as usual on The Breakfast Club, but you can feel the tension. Charlemagne keeps steering clear of the topic, and even though Angela Yee left the show last year, her name's getting pulled back into the drama as people question who knew what and when. But here's the bottom line. A lot of people just aren't buying DJ Envy's version of events anymore. The evidence is stacking up, and the silence from those around him is starting to speak louder than words.
I call 3 people. I call Clue. I call Fabulous. I call Joe Budden. Right? My Desert Storm family. And I said, hey guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that, you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was going to go to jail.
How could dozens of investors lose millions right under his nose, yet he claimed to know nothing? Even if you believe he wasn't directly involved in Caesar's alleged scheme, the facts still don't add up. Envy kept promoting Caesar long after warnings surfaced that the whole setup looked shady. That's not a good look. At the very least, his name and brand were all over Caesar's seminars. When things started going south, the bare minimum would have been to warn people, but Envy never did. Instead, he stayed on the hustle. Maybe authorities investigated and didn't find enough evidence to charge him. That can happen. But according to Dame Dash, that's not the full story. He claims the real reason Envy walked away without charges is because he's been cooperating with the feds. That narrative is spreading online fast. Here's another twist. Sources close to 50 Cent say this controversy is exactly why he pulled out of a project he was supposed to do with Envy.
This was a 3-family, 2-bedroom. We could only bring $800 rent roll each floor, which is not that much money. If we decided to extend it, if you walk back here, you see we extended it. Now with the extension, we decided to make it from a 2-bedroom to a 4-bedroom. So now from 800, it goes to 1,800 a month. 18. We extended it so much, we have so much that we can extend it, we can actually put 2 studios in the back. So now the 2 studios will bring, you figure 18 is 246.
Apparently, Envy and 50 were planning a reality TV show centered on their real estate moves. But after Caesar's arrest and Dame Dash publicly claiming that Envy is an informant, 50 decided to pull the plug on the project. Does this prove beyond a doubt that Envy has been working with the feds? Not at all. There's no concrete evidence or official paperwork linking him to Caesar Pina's case, but the optics, they look really bad, and both the streets and the internet are eating this story up. Fans are starting to connect the dots, and a lot of them say something doesn't sit right with DJ Envy. He's getting called out hard, while Dame Dash's narrative is getting a boost. Online, people are pointing out that despite all the chaos Dame's been involved in, at least he's never stolen from his own. One commenter even said, Dame has never taken from his community.
So Caesar and myself did seminars. Now, the reason I did these seminars is because I wanted to uplift my community. I wanted to teach my community about real estate, things that I didn't know when I was first buying my first home. I wanted to teach our community about investing in generational wealth. Caesar, if he took money, I wasn't privy to it, nor did I even know. But for anybody to say I was involved, that's totally not true. I would never.
Me as someone that he is not speaking to. We have not spoken about anything. And he calls me and starts talking about some real estate shit. For me, that's odd. We don't speak. And now you calling me, telling me that your man's with the government and he could get the buildings and there's a list, it'd be me, you, and Queen Latifah and whatever the fuck he was saying. Because was walking my dog in the backyard. So I'm gonna stop listening at this point. But that just sounded fishy.
Meanwhile, the Breakfast Club has reportedly cost the black community over $50 million with the scammers they've brought on. And that's not even an exaggeration. It's a pattern. People are now pointing to others like Omar Johnson, still out here flying private, dining out, and driving flashy cars, all allegedly off the backs of his supporters. One fan even said, Envy is lying. He knew from the start this was a setup. The only reason he's denying it now is because Caesar got caught and convicted. And let's be real, Omar Johnson isn't the only one. Jay Morrison, Brother Polite, both had their moment on the Breakfast Club, and both came with baggage. Fans are left wondering, how did so many controversial figures keep landing on the same show with the same cosign? So, what do you think? Is Dame Dash telling the truth about DJ Envy being an informant, or is this all just noise hiding something deeper? Was Envy really in the dark about Caesar's hustle, or was he just playing innocent after the fact? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This conversation is far from over. And if you're feeling the breakdowns, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned because we're always on top of the realest stories in the hood.